Thank you.
Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to be here live on Zoom this week. At this very important time on our planet, we are coming into the beautiful 8-8 energies. And we just recently went through the July gateway. I think it's July 27th, 28th, and today the 29th. It's a very powerful alignment with Sirius. And so the energies are already with us. And what a beautiful time today to start our channel panel week. We are here with Allison Holley. She is a beautiful channel of divine light, and we're catching up with her as she's out and about. She's in Arkansas right now, on her own little tribe. What do you call it? You call it a summer camp with your tribe. That's
Yeah.
welcome.
Yes. Thank you so much, Loren. I love being here always. And yes, always a new environment. I've been traveling a lot, but I'm really excited to be able to tune in with all of you. Oh, Cindy says, I'm bummed I wasn't able to attend. Yeah, it's this weekend. It's our annual summer camp. And so that's why I'm here in Arkansas. It's not always in Arkansas, but it has been. It won't always will be in the future. So
Well,
I'm
thank
happy
you
to
for
be
taking,
here. Thank you.
yeah, and we're so excited that you can take your time out from that. I know what
Mm.
that's like to be in person and holding space, and for you to show up here on this event. We're so grateful. Absolutely looking forward to it. So we've got some questions from our audience. Again, our Zoom audience, you are welcome to raise your hand on our Zoom audience and we will unmute you and you can share your questions. But we're here for about 60 minutes and we're going to here's some divine wisdom. As we know with channeling, it is higher information. It's always information that warms our hearts and elevates us. And we have been with Allison Holley a number of times on this platform, and it's such a beautiful, radiant light that we're really looking forward to her sharing the wisdom from her guides and the beings from the illumined realms. So, Allison, as we start, my goodness, what do you need to do to prepare? Do you want to start with a general message for all of us, or how would you like to do that?
Absolutely. So I'm just going to go ahead and close my eyes. It helps me to attune beyond my mind. And I will bring through a message that's just right for this group and the current energies. And I'll likely have my eyes closed throughout. And so if you, Loren, if you're able to tell me what the questions are, we can just go from there. When the general message has finished coming through, I'll let you know if I'm open for questions. Does that sound good?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Let me just close this thing out. All right. And even though I can't see you all, I'm happy to have you here. Happy and honored. Um, I want to say very honored to have the calling in life that I do to be a vessel for bringing through these messages. So thank you for being here with me. Oh, it's just, there's so much infinite love. The human experience is so, so powerful in that it can take us into a place where we don't immediately feel and see and know this infinite love that's literally in every particle of existence, constantly within us and surrounding us. It is us. And it's such a high level of love to be within an experience that is potent enough to let us forget that. Congratulations, masters, all of us. for embodying the practices, for being a part of this experience. As many of you know, there are several powerful galactic cosmic events, we'll say, this year. And even beyond the cosmic events, even beyond what you can chart with the planetary arrangements and the alignments, we wish to bring you to a knowing beyond this, a knowing that these, as you move outside of the realms of time, oh, this is perfect. Forgot this was the theme. As you move outside of the realms of time, meaning time no longer has the anchor, creates the anchor, has the hold that it has before, no longer creates the program, but rather is something that you witness that allows you to move within the programs, within as a conscious choice or not. As we move, raising our frequency to perceive consciously beyond this, we will be able to witness that these gateways are open to us at all times. There's nothing that is holding us back from being able to enter any of these portals at any moment in time. And that's key. Any moment in time, that's simply what it is. I use this example a lot. I also want to introduce, for people who haven't heard me channel before, there's a lot of pronoun changes as I move this frequency through and these teachings through, because it's very much a we consciousness that blends with my own understanding. So we will witness that these gateways are available to us at any moment in time. This means that we get to choose consciously the moment in time that we inhabit. Here's something interesting. Many of us believe that currently we're not choosing a moment in time, that all we can ever exist in is now. But the reality is that many humans are actually consciously or unconsciously embodying moments in the past or future at all times. That there's not so much a high level of presence, because presence from this expanded viewpoint is every moment in time. That's what presence is. It is everything. It's all of it. And so to embody true presence, deep, deep, deep presence, we should say, that very powerful level of presence where you are your highest self, all moments in time are available to you. And thus all portals, all access points, we'll call them, are available to you. It's simply a matter of you are your own spaceship. It is simply a matter of attuning your frequencies. You've heard this before. Let's put it another way. It's simply a matter of becoming the vessel that can enter the portal. Oh, I love it when the good words come through. It's simply a matter of knowing who you are at such an expanded level that you can enter into the state of being wherever, whatever you wish to engage with. We're going to close the general statements, the general transmission for now, and allow questions. So if there are questions, we'll bring those through.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We can feel the frequencies of that, and we can literally feel the timelessness and our access point to all of those moments in time and these gateways. It's almost as if we're holding those gateways open. That's what I'm seeing. So attuning our frequencies. Can you go into how we can attune our frequencies? What's needed? What's necessary? How does that work?
Anything that keeps us from presence is what can be dropped. If it's hard to drop, that is where the inner work is. We, especially through me, through Allison, we tend to deliver to not work, to not go into the work, to go into the effortlessness and the play and the joyful freedom, the liberation of presence, and not so much look for the problems to solve, but for your natural state of being. It's easily accessible. The programs that have been taught and up until this point very much accepted are what makes it seem difficult. It's very simple. It's very simple. Presence in all moments. And the deeper the presence, the less anchoring into old structures there will be. And so to attune, we could say there's really only ever releasing, letting go, knowing the eternal self.
Beautiful. That makes so much sense. Thank you. We can feel that. All right. We are going to take questions. Here is a question in our Q&A box. I'll read it to you. It's from Zahira, who
Oh,
says,
hi.
yay, hi, Zahira, beautiful one. Zahira says, insight and guidance regarding negotiating the energies coming in and exhaustion on all levels, but unable to sleep or rest deeply, wired and tired.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When there's no judgment, this is really beautiful, and this has been coming up a lot, and I'm very grateful that this question came up again. When there is a feeling of resistance to anything, there is two parts to that. The resistance teaches us something about ourselves that we are desiring, and teaches us something about our internalized belief of not being able to achieve our desires. So that's one part of resistance. The other part of resistance is that the very gateway to what we desire is in surrendering to what is being held in resistance. Meaning, if we are lacking sleep, the way to achieve the desire of sleep is to surrender to the lack of sleep. The medicine is the pathway is what seems to be blocking us. That is the actual path. And so what's coming up here is more of that flow, more of that inherent attunement to the frequencies that are flowing through us, and also the way that you inherently operate. We're going to tune in here to the wired part specifically. Wired is, if you think of something like a water hose running through many different channels, the feeling of wired is those channels being constricted and a lot of water trying to move through them. It makes everything feel a little bit stiff and wired, so to speak. So what's happening is not only that there's now a lot of energy moving through, but there's resistance to that high level of energy. There's a sort of confusion around how to experience that high level of energy, how to channel it truly. Because the way that humans have operated so frequently is to channel all of the energy into the mental sphere. There's a real limit to that, because when too much energy enters the mental sphere, we feel anxious, we feel fear, frustration, fatigue, tired, all of these anger, all of these things. The mind is not only not capable of really expanding into the fullness of who we are, the mind is also not quite capable of channeling so much energy, specifically not if the rest of the body and the rest of the body systems and the energetic systems are not being used. So when there's a feeling of being wired, and then what happens is it actually reaches tired because there's sort of a drop in that adrenaline. It's like it's trying to push through, you get wired, and then the energy drops because there's fatigue in the blockages. So what to do? Moving it into the body, allowing the body and the other systems in the body and the energetic systems as well to move that energy, to run that energy, to allow that energy to move through it. And right now, what's really being shown is that heart space of moving the energy through in the heart, where the heart knows how to delegate it. I've got all this energy. Heart, do your thing. Show me where to move that energy. This is why breath work. Right there in the heart center, we also have the lungs. Breath work will help us regulate this energy that will assist us in moving it in the way that's so natural to us, and will also elevate our body systems to be more attuned, more capable of experiencing these high levels of energy, which we operate with different energetic systems as we move into the light body. So we're going to be what it seems in our more dense physical experience, blasted with energy, but very comfortable levels of energy for the light body. And so opening up all of those channels and allowing the inherent systems to take over, the light systems to take over, moving through with breath is going to help us. It's a really powerful channel of interdimensional experience for the body. That's our breath is really powerful for moving between realms and still anchoring between all realms that we exist in, at least within the human scope of things.
Thank you. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to call on Nancy. Nancy, you can unmute yourself to ask your question. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you. And hi, Allison.
Hi, Nancy.
Um, Hi. My question for you is there a message that my higher self has for me today?
Hmm. Hmm. First, it's to know that your higher self is you. You're not separate from it. And this is part of the message that there's a feeling of fatigue, a feeling of disconnect, a feeling of kind of not what you want to be, not fully there. And so knowing you are already your higher self, you all are already the fullness of everything that you are, and to put down the weight of feeling that you're off the mark, that you're somehow not doing, not being, not experiencing. There's a feeling of disconnect. Let's see. Again, this comes back to when we are, oh, okay. There's a feeling of fog and disconnect with the fullness of who you are, a disappointment. And the pathway to what we desire is actually the block that we are perceiving. That is the pathway. So surrendering into these experiences, these feelings that may be saying, I'm never going to experience the fullness of who I am. Somehow I'm missing something, surrendering into that. And what does it mean to surrender? To surrender into it means to let it be a possibility, to let it be a possibility, to be present with the possibility that we fear and everything else. Because presence includes all. Presence includes all. And so when we drop into presence with something that we are afraid of, or something that we are in resistance to, or something that we may be feeling sad about, any of that, we drop into presence. Not only do we feel that one thing that maybe we're slightly avoiding, we feel it fully. It also opens up every other possibility of what we could be experiencing in that moment. So going into deep presence, it is a possibility. We say to ourselves, it's a possibility that I'll never get what I want. It's a possibility that I'm doing everything wrong. It's a possibility that I'm tired because I'm somehow punished. These may not even be conscious things. And when we get present with it, we move into that deep level of presence. Then the other possibilities are there too. So the other possibilities of, okay, so that's there. There's also happiness here. There's also freedom. There's also, oh, this avenue that I never considered. So moving into that deep presence with it will not only expose all of these other potentials for the present moment. They're not potentials that are out there in the future. They're present moment experience potentials that take nothing other than a surrendering. There's no doing. There's simply a beingness in those energies. And as you do that, the connection with the higher self is inherent in that, because the higher self is simply you in present moment. So it's not even a connection, it's a beingness. And it's something that then when we're in presence, we can viscerally feel. And part of that feeling of disconnect is what feels upsetting. Disconnect even from ourselves, from our higher selves. So dropping into, I'm perfect right now. I am perfect right now. All of these possibilities that exist in this moment, letting them all exist, letting myself naturally float in the direction that I want to. It's all built within. The higher self is simply presence. And then so much love flows in when we are less attached to punishing ourselves or limiting ourselves in any sort of way. And we become less attached again by just surrendering into the present moment, surrendering to the pathway being exactly what feels like it's blocking the path. We'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Nancy. That was good for all of us. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, next we're going to Nora. Hi, Nora. You can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi, Nora.
You wonderfully answered, at least I sense both of my questions. My initial and backup have been answered by everything you're saying. So this is perfect. I guess right now, is there anything else that might come through? Given, I don't have any questions right now.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And I love that. I love how that works. The first thing that's coming through is a 4-leaf clover and this feeling of lucky. There is sometimes a resistance to things being good, right? Especially if it's a personal experience. Oh, it's so good for me right now. It's so good for me right now. This is almost a lifelong thing for you where you really have there's just so much playfulness, and things do seem to come easy so frequently. It's not that you haven't had hard times, but this is something that maybe, you know, whatever it is for us as individuals, and all of us have these beautiful, unique, experiential gifts that are built into our templates. We are being of service to each other by allowing ourselves to be in the fullness of our joy and in the fullness of our expansion and in the fullness of whatever our gifts are. There is really, I keep hearing luck. So letting that be something that you really expand on and play with, because when we play with what is inherent to us, when we let ourselves say, wow, I'm really good at creating in this way, and we really embrace it, other people can then jump on board. Let me teach you how easy this can be. Let me show you how to play with this, how to embody this particular frequency. And so that's what's coming through for you, is to allow that playfulness to not be something that you think, oh, I've got to hold this back because if other people are having a hard time, that could maybe be hurtful. The way that it works actually is when we're all in, there's no resistance with other people either. And that is a hard and fast rule. There isn't an exception to that. We perceive that there's an exception because sometimes people get upset or jealous or all of the things, and that's okay. It just shows that there's still part of that within us, and that's okay. The fun is to play with these gifts and these talents and let it emit from us so much that we're shining, that we're glowing, and other people are like, well, that looks like a fun game. And you're like, yeah, this is a fun game. Let's play. Mhm.
Yeah, this is exactly what I needed to hear because that's how I'm feeling. And a part of me was sort of doubting. I used to be in the world of being an organized fraud investigator, and
Wow.
I wanted to be in the world of who I really am, this playfulness and seeing the good and expanding on that and just reclaiming that part of me.
Mm.
Ah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I love that. If it sounds fun, maybe get an emblem of a four-leaf clover and have it somewhere with you or in your home. This is something for you. This is an emblem for you. It's going to help you cue into that playfulness and just remind you there's sort of this open door thing that happens with you. Doors just open. There's
Oh
something
my
there
God.
for you.
Yes, I'm gonna look for my bracelet that does have the four-leaf
Oh,
clovers, or not bracelet, it's a necklace that was given to me years and years ago, and I
mhm.
will bring that out again.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that it's already with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nora. Wow. And welcome to your awakening and who you are coming into. That's so beautiful. And I think it's just extraordinary that Allison picked up on that four-leaf clover and that you already have that in your possession. That's beautiful.
Yes. Well, and just that word, because I keep getting that like in my mind lately, and it feels really good, even though certain circumstances haven't matched up to that yet in the outer world, which it's okay. It'll be whenever it is. But yeah, just really knowing that I am here in this space now to hear it from another human being. I really needed that. So this was just perfect today. Everything.
I love it. Just a little, I'm just moving energy right now. We can keep going, but sometimes I have to.
Oh, very cool. Thank you, Nora, for your question.
You're so welcome.
Okay, cool. So next we have Tammy. And Tammy, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Hi.
Hi, Allison. Hi, Lauren. Lovely to chat with you both today.
Hi,
Um,
Tammy.
My question is, for about 14 years now, I've had a business, and I work with light therapy and raising people's vibrations, but like sort of working with their chakra system. I also give readings.
Mm.
I've done workshops, which I really didn't enjoy teaching workshops because I just found that I didn't enjoy speaking in public. Soul glyphs, I've just done a whole bunch of stuff over the past 14 years. And I'd say about 7, 8 months ago, I've just lost interest in all of it. And I do feel a loss of it because I miss the people, but for some reason, I just lost interest in doing all that work, all of it. And I'm just wondering, do I have something else that's coming, or I have no idea.
To work directly with the light, have your light codes activated? And meaning, are you bringing through light codes?
I feel that I am and have. Yes.
Okay. Are you working with those directly?
Daily. I feel that I do personally daily.
Okay. It's more in the realm of that. So light code activations. The reason that you lost taste or connection with what you were doing is because it's too tangible. You're meant to really work with light codes. You are meant to work with light codes in a way that you haven't quite learned yet.
Okay. Can you explain that to me?
Let me see. I'll do my best. You have a real ET consciousness that's trying to come through.
Okay.
That you're meant to really do more of that very high frequency contact with our star families and bring that through and create some of that bridging that is all light codes. It's all light codes.
Does the ET family have a name?
It's all of them. It's
okay.
It's galactic beings, and this is part of what is developing. So
and
opening to that.
And how do I open to it?
Daily, work with your light language. If you are not writing light codes yet, begin to play with that.
Okay, and do you think I'm going to be writing it or verbalizing it?
It's
Meaning
going to be all of it.
Okay, because I have thought about the singing. I just haven't wanted to do it, to be perfectly honest.
This is a very personal experience, meaning it's always going to be coming through you, and it's trusting it, and it's attuning to things that you're not yet, you just haven't yet opened to some of these things, and that's okay. It's just through regular practice. So regular practice means attuning to it more regularly, daily, allowing yourself to speak, sing, chant, just whatever, channeling those light codes, writing them with your hands and visualizing them, allowing them to come through you, making that conscious contact. Don't worry about how it's going to look in terms of work yet.
Okay, yeah, because I have no idea. As you're talking, I'm thinking, how is this going to look with work? How am I going to do this?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. And if you try and jump to that, you'll lose that connection. Not that you can ever lose
Right,
it,
I'll be
but
trying too hard.
Yes, yeah, you'll be trying to make it dense and it's not dense. There's a
Okay.
sorry, I keep leaning on my hair. There's a completely different uh one word that we could say is science coming to the planet. You're meant to
Okay.
be working with light codes. Just let it be that for now.
Hmm.
Um and more will come. But for
Well,
now, that's
I love
important.
what you said because it gives me hope again. I was really losing hope. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with letting it come naturally as long as I know there is something on the way that gives me hope that I'm not done doing the work that I do. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just one last little thing. Do you
Okay.
work with animals at all?
They break my heart, to be perfectly honest, because I have done volunteer work with them, and I always end up with a broken heart.
Yeah, just instead of doing the volunteer work, communicate with animals. Just talk to them.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm in the woods all the time. I'm always talking with animals.
Okay,
It is part of just the way I am.
good, good.
So keep
Make
doing
that,
that.
yep. Keep doing that. Make it purposeful. They work on the frequency of light codes as well.
Okay,
Specific animals. I'm seeing a horse.
okay.
Um,
I'm not
I was
around
seeing a
horses.
dog earlier.
What was the last one?
A dog.
Oh, a dog. Okay, I'm around dogs a lot.
So yeah, so some of these are, it sounds like domesticated, but um yeah, there's a real the telepathy with horses is really um really speaking loudly right now. So there's something there for you and dogs.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, very cool. Thank you, Tammy, for your question. Awesome. Okay, we are now going to Metatron. Metatron, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Hi,
Awesome.
Metatron.
Great. Thank you for, I don't know why I came up as Metatron, but it's Kevin from
Hi,
Toronto. I don't know what happened. I
Hi,
hi,
guess,
Kevin
Kevin.
from Toronto.
I guess that's my first question is why Metatron came up.
Hmm.
My second question is August is my birth month. So I'm wondering if there's any messages that I need to hear around my birth date or coming up that I should know that I should be aware of. Thank you.
Absolutely. So you work with Metatron. Metatron works with you.
Yes.
Hmm. And it is just that. It is sort of that simple that that is the frequency and the coding that you're working with. Let's look at the birthday question. Interesting. It's coming up that your birthday is wonderful and special, and this is not specific to your birthday. This is um, almost to focus less on your birthday, which is interesting. So let's look at why. It's to witness your eternal nature. Well, I'm seeing unlocking, almost like a big, like a bank dial, just like a bank vault dial, just like unlocking. Hmm. Unlocking the codes to your eternal nature. There's a little bit of for you to focus right now on almost moving out, mm, still experiencing the human beingness, but sort of not being anchored into it and really allowing yourself to be in the experience of being multidimensional to the place where there's not an attachment to the human form. There's not it's a very, what I'm seeing is this very vast grid of, show me what this is. So this is probably going to be hard to explain here. It's a higher frequency, it's a higher dimensional matrix that you're meant to be tuning into.
Yes.
And okay, good. Yeah, I'm like, I heard that you recognize what I'm talking about here.
Oh, yes.
Okay, okay. To play with that. And as soon as you said, oh yes, I saw this grid and it's almost like a blue turquoise, which is why I'm a little bit confused. Usually I see the electric blue or the gold, but I'm seeing this almost like turquoise, turquoise blue grid. And when you said, oh yes, all of these dials started turning at the juncture points of all of the grid. So it's just like it started spinning in many different ways. It's just the so so you're working with that and tuning into that. Okay, I love this analogy because this is, so they're using my analogies so that I know how to explain this. And I love this analogy, working on the level of Doctor Strange, which is where all realities sort of start to turn and melt into each other. But from that real specific, like clockwork sort of way. There's no, it's not melting. It's really like clicking into other dimensional spaces. 6, 7, 8, 9, those dimensional spaces you're playing in. Does all that make sense to you?
Very much so, yes.
Okay, good, good. So really the guidance is to play outside of time, to start to play in those other frequency realms more.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Many blessings.
Thank you, Kevin, and happy birthday coming up
Thank you.
here. Awesome. You are unlocked. Yeah, okay.
Just have to
Very,
turn the key.
Yeah, it's a big dial.
yeah. Wow, that's cool. Thank you. Okay. We have a few more minutes, and I'm now going to go to Cindy. Cindy, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hi, y'all.
Hey.
I actually wasn't going to ask a question today because I do believe that, a group comes together for certain reasons and you channel the same messages that would be actually go across every members. But first you reminded me that you're in Eureka Springs and I'm moving to Eureka Springs. My house is on the market right now and I'm waiting. I'm in a different state, but we're moving to Eureka Springs. And then you said 4-leaf clovers and I have 4-leaf clovers tattooed on me. So I figured that was a kind of a couple signs that maybe I should just put it out there because the house selling is a big thing right now that I feel like I'm in a hurry up and wait. But also my question kind of goes along with the last two people, and I've been doing many, many, many years of collecting my tools and spiritual work and channeling, and I'm a hypnotherapist and a past life regressionist and QHHT and Reiki and astrology. I mean, I've been studying my little behind off, but so I wanted to kind of see if you could kind of key into something that's a little bit more, I don't know, focused.
Why would you want to focus?
It's not really, I guess maybe where I should start because no, I plan on incorporating it all, but it's I think I'm a little antsy because I've been kind of in that hurry up and wait mode, and I'm trying not to be, and I'm trying to, I have things that are keeping me busy, but I'm trying to figure out where I should kind of start focusing to open up the doors to get the things rolling. Does that make sense?
let yourself yes, it makes perfect sense. And let yourself tune into what's exciting for you. And even that, you're like, well, I'm excited about all of it. And mostly you're excited about helping people.
Yes.
Mostly you're excited about helping people. So there's this sort of, what's really happening is not necessarily focus in the way that you're thinking of it right now. You don't need to focus so that you can present something that makes sense to people. What's really being called on of you is confidence with yourself. And let's go deeper with what that really means. It is, if you were to focus, it would be for you. It would be for you to hone in on something to gain that confidence. It wouldn't be, I need to have a marketing plan sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what you're really being called into is tuning into that sort of, it's actually the higher level truth of, I really desire to help people and work with people. And then let yourself go into the realms of imagination. Spend some time each day imagining what would make you the most joyful to assist others with. And then follow that once you open your eyes. Just spend 5 minutes imagining, oh, I can imagine people coming to me and things opening for them and insights coming to them. And okay, like, and today, it doesn't have to be every day. Today, I think it's going to be so much fun to go into the realms of past life regression. Or today, I really want to feel this feeling of connection where somebody just has that huge aha moment. And just feel that for a moment. And then follow whatever excitement naturally, like a red carpet, sort of rolls itself out from that realm of imagination. For you to be successful in the way that feels good to you means that you focus on what you really enjoy, not the tools, but the helping, but the assistance, but the changing lives. That's what you want to focus on. And it will come to you. That's where the avenues will start to open, because if you focus on the tools, then you get confused. And it's hard to focus on the tools because you like all of them and you like a lot of different things on different days.
Yes, that is true. And that does make a lot of sense. And I was, and channeling is a big thing for me. And I have been getting interesting pictures, and I feel like somebody's trying to communicate with me, and that I've been a little frustrated with some things, and I'm not hearing. And I was just wondering if that's coming into you at all, or if there's yeah.
What's kind of feeling like it's stopping things right now is that you want to interact with people.
I was thinking more of the extraterrestrial channeling is what I was thinking, but you're saying that interacting with people is what I need to open that up more.
Correct. It's
Okay.
because anything that feels like it's blocked within you, that you're like, oh, I really want to go that way and I just can't quite get there. It's because there's sort of a backlog within the work that you do. You want to start working with people. So there's what's blocking it is actually impatience. So open the levee, let yourself start playing with that. And then it actually jump starts all these other areas. Anything you want to explore starts to open up as well.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so very much. Much appreciated.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Love and blessings.
Thanks, Cindy. All right, cool. So we have time we're going to do one more from our question box. I'm going to read it to you because this one is good for all of us. And then we'll take one more caller. So we'll do that. Let's go to Chris's question. Chris says, I find myself in triggered situations being pulled in two directions. My guide's showing me the path towards a higher timeline, and ego acting like a dead weight, holding me in a time loop. How can we move through this more gracefully, particularly when we witness ourselves choosing the old timeline?
Mm. Hmm. It's really satisfying to choose the old timeline. It's really satisfying to get triggered too. It's really satisfying. The issue is that the satisfaction for something new doesn't feel attainable. It's very satisfying to get upset about something. It's very satisfying to externalize our power. It's sort of familiar. We chomp on it. We know it. We got that one. So that's satisfying. So how can we then find the new route to satisfaction? Well, it is sort of in some ways like if there's a child and they've learned a certain way of being, there's an instant reward, but it's a very unhealthy reward. Then there's a moment of pause as we're learning to reroute. There's this moment of pause. The first part of the pause is the recognition. Well, it's not as satisfying actually to do this thing because there's this repercussion, and I've already experienced this again and again and again. It feels really satisfying to get frustrated at somebody, and then I feel awful about it later. I've experienced that. I've experienced that route. Okay. So I recognize that it's maybe not as satisfying. And in that recognition is the beginning of the pause. It's the beginning of the pause. The pause, as we remember from the beginning of this channeling, is where all possibilities show themselves to us. The mind gets a little impatient and says, choose that one. We've done that before. It's very satisfying. But again, we've got this recognition that's starting to emerge. It's not quite as satisfying as we've had it be before. Stay in that present moment. In fact, what we call a trigger, you want to start to recognize the trigger before the trigger. Take that step back. What am I feeling right before I get triggered? Be in that. And that's where the pause is. That's where the pause is. And in that pause, whoosh, all of these possibilities that are inherent to the present moment show themselves. There they all are. And in fact, when we're deeply in presence, there's less of a desire to choose something. We actually sort of just become neutral and move in the direction that's inherent to us. So that, it may sound like not so concrete, but that is inherently the process to changing these things that are deeply satisfying. Because when we say trigger, what we're really saying is, I have found that it is satisfying to externalize my power to this thing, or this circumstance, or this program. So let's talk about timelines. A timeline is sort of like getting into a river and floating in the direction of that river. We put our boat in to a river, and then, well, that's the timeline we've chosen. We said, okay, I want to learn this. And then we're shown a series of rivers, and we put our boat into one river, and we follow that timeline. None of it's permanent, of course. We can blink our eyes and it can be a different river. So it's less static than this example. But essentially that's what we're doing. So sometimes it's very helpful to just let ourselves float down the river that we've put our boat in. We're learning what we called out to learn. Other times we may say, wow, this river is really, there's a lot going on. It's very uncomfortable. I feel like I've done this before. This is a never-ending cycle. I'm going to pull my boat off. I'm going to say, pause for a moment and choose maybe a different way to navigate this lesson. but it doesn't serve us all the time to continuously be trying to go against the flow of the river of the timeline that we've chosen to learn a specific lesson. It really is okay to surrender to that river and say, this is the river I've chosen to learn this lesson. I'm already in it. It's okay. We can't do anything wrong. For many people, when I bring that through, it's very difficult to hear. So just FYI, that's something that comes through a lot. We can't do anything wrong. We can choose to believe that we can, and that's its own river. That's okay. So allowing ourselves to be in full presence is what gives us the ability to choose and to choose again. We're never, unlike the example of a river where we have to sort of get to the shore and drag our boat with us and then walk 50 miles and choose another river. It's not that static. It is like that. In fact, all of it is currently here right now. It only takes a moment of presence for us to witness the infinite potential of possibilities that exist in this present moment, that we're actually already in all of them all of the time. We'll leave it at that. Thank you for that question.
Thank you for that question. It's very beneficial at this time on the planet. So thank you. Okay. Our final question is with Kiri. Kiri, you can unmute yourself now and ask your question. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Kiri.
Hi. So it's interesting when you were answering everybody's question. I think, in a sense, you were talking to me because I started the light language started coming up. I started yawning, cheering up. So I thought, okay, you must be talking to me because that was my question. That this weekend I had a very huge breakthrough. Right, everything you talked about moving through resistance. So I was going through all of that. I feel like I was closing up a lot of timelines as well. And so the question I have is, with all of that like happening, where do I go from here?
I love that you asked that, because the guidance that was coming through before you asked the question is answering that question. Be in the bliss of all of this liberation. Be in the bliss. Be in the joy of the expansion. Let that guide you to how to navigate. So often we have these major expansions. We have everything clicks in and we're just, whew, it's like so much liberation, so much beauty, so many aha moments, so much shedding of what was holding us in patterns.
Right.
And then immediately the mind comes in and says, well, what do we do? And that starts us into feeling anchored again, feeling sort of stuck again. Be in the joy of it. Play. Play. And that's truly it. Play. What are these new codes? And maybe not even that static. So what was coming through was, what are these new codes guiding you to do? And to even be more expansive. These new codes, how am I to be? What is inherent in me right now? What can I notice? What can I witness? Instead of trying to move in a certain direction and do something with what I've gotten, what is inherently growing from this present moment? And how can I witness it? And then how can I witness my own doing? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The movement that is inherent, that comes from these light codes, I want to witness that too. I'm no longer doing, I'm even witnessing the doing. That's where you go from here.
That's so profound. It's a totally
It's
different
play.
state of being. Yeah.
It's play. Oh, and the amount of light that comes off of us when we are when you let yourself play. I mean, you're currently doing it, FYI. There's a lot of light. There's a lot of joy. There's this little sort of like, is it okay to be so happy? Which I love that that's sort of like coming through here today. It's, is it okay to just be with this? That is it. That is the gift. That's the gift to all of us. It's just being in that light.
Mm. Mm. Okay, I'll play with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kiri. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what beautiful wisdom came through today. It really is quite special. I want to thank Allison, and I want to thank the beings who you're bringing through such great wisdom. Any final thoughts before we end your channel?
I'd love to give a light code transmission to anyone who'd like to receive it. Let your love rise up. You are worthy of receiving. You are already that which you wish to be. In fact, you're higher than that. You are more than that. There's infinite love available to you in this space. Always, always receive. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have shifted and we feel so good from that wisdom, and we're feeling playful and joyous. Yes. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to share the teachings that you offer. For those who do not know much about Allison, she is a beautiful teacher of how to channel. And maybe you're interested in opening up to channel as well. Well, there's a beautiful course that Allison has, and it's available on the webpage. I dropped the link in the chat box, and I'll drop it again for everyone. Go ahead and check it out, because this is a comprehensive course for you to tune in to your own guides and share the wisdom through your heart space. Allison, tell us about this course.
So I love this. I feel so much joy. I just want to thank you all for being here. It is absolutely my highest joy to be able to do this, to connect with all of you in that heart space, our eternal I am space together. The Learn to Channel course is what it sounds like. So it's a very comprehensive course, and it is all online. So it's videos, guided meditation, there's breath work in there. It will bring you all the way through from learning the basics of meditation, understanding what channeling is in many different ways. And let's see, all the way through how to channel for others, how to channel for yourself, different exercises to open the channels. There's activations in there. And then part of the course is I have a membership community. It's a channeling practice membership. And when you join the Learn to Channel course, you receive a free 30 days within my membership community. So you will be able to practice. It's twice a month. I guide you into a channeling space. There's Q&A, because it's very much important to me. It's very much a calling, and it's something that I find a lot of joy in, assisting people in channeling into high frequency realms and getting really clear guidance for ourselves, because we're moving into this time. We're in the time where all of us are learning to embody our mastery and receive for ourselves. And so I am honored to not just channel for you, but assist you in knowing how to open those channels and receive for yourselves.
Beautiful. We, every one of us is a channel. We just have to hone those skills. And this is a beautiful program to do that. And we thank you for sharing that with our audience. And audience, we invite you to check it out as well and hone your skills. You are here to make a difference. You are here to radiate your heart light. And that's why you incarnated. So this will help you do that. If that feels right to you, it's available for you. And we're excited to have you take part of that. In every sense, we thank everyone for being here and for raising your frequency like this. We can feel the importance of it at this time, and we can say that we know what to do, that yes, we can radiate love and shift our planet. It is real and it's happening. And so, Allison, thank you for this. I want to just give you final thoughts, a moment for final thoughts. Thank you.
I'd love to reiterate what you were just saying. Everything. I used to have this question, even as a channel, even up until recently. Does it really matter? Are we actually doing anything? Can we actually? I can tell you for sure that it is powerful. Each one of our existences is powerful. The work that you're doing with yourselves, with each other, those of you who are practitioners, those of you who are conscious within yourselves, it is making such a huge shift, and we are the ones that we've called on. It's really powerful. So I want to reiterate that, and I want to reiterate my support for you in what you are doing. So if you are a leader, if you are someone here who's to be a practitioner or a guide in any sort of way, this is a huge part also of what I do, is to assist with those of you who are called on to really be a guide. We all need support. I have my support as well. So if you're looking for support in that, I'm here, even just in this moment. And also I want to thank you, Loren, because I love being on your show so much. I do a lot of interviews, and I always say when I come on your show, it's just, you're so authentic, and I love what you bring. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is a platform of light, and everyone watching is a part of it. And we are so grateful for you too watching it and sharing your light. Because as Allison said, yes, it is real. It does matter. Your love matters. Oh my goodness. Allison, thank you. I just love having you on the show as well. We can feel the frequency shift, and this is what it's all about. So thank you for your words of wisdom. Thank you for your guides, and thank you for sharing your course on how to channel. All right. Thank you, everyone. We hope that you are radiating your heart light. We know you are. And actually, if you're watching this, you are a leader, and you know that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Bye. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart as we raise our own vibration we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.